Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about why it is absolutely critical that you embrace the D&D OGL 1.1 as if it's brought forward, even as it's leaked, in my humble opinion. And I want to talk, and I think the reason you should do it, the proof that you should absolutely fully embrace the D&D OGL 1.1 lies 100%. Lies completely in Professor Dungeon Master's recent choice and what he powerfully demonstrated on his channel. Okay, so let's get into this. So, link below for Professor Dungeon Master's absolutely incredible video. He is like, so in this video, he simultaneously says, "Hey, I got a 100,000 subscriber button, right? And I did, and I do the metrics on my videos, and I know exactly what you want from my channel. And thank you for this button, and you can all kick rocks because I'm not going to give you what you want. In fact, my response to getting a 100,000 subscriber YouTube button is for me to destroy my channel and tell all of you people who helped me build to prominence that you can all go kick rocks, and I'm going to do exactly what I like." And in my humble opinion, what he's really saying is, watch me embrace selfishness and laziness, all right? And I'm going to give you my argument for this, right? And one, I have incredible respect for Professor Dungeon Master. I think he's a genius, right? But I do think he is, at this point in his life, he is, and I get it. I think the reason, I think he's embracing selfishness and laziness, that doesn't make him a bad person. It means he has a bad day. Professor Dungeon Master is not a bad person. He's a brilliant, kind, tolerant man, okay? But right now, he's in a bad place, and he's having a bad day. And I am going to say this today with the hopes that he hears me, right? And he has, and I know he hears me because he has commented directly on my videos where I talk about his videos, right? And so and he wears a +1 vest of armor, and he's willing to have a conversation, right? And I will extend this out to you, Professor Dungeon Master. The day you want that conversation to stop, I've already had this with a few other YouTubers. The day you feel you're losing in this verbal discourse and you want out, just let me know. No problem. I keep a list of people who fell in verbal discourse with me and said, "Oh, hey, I want to back out. I don't want to talk. I want to do this anymore." And I will never. You say the word, and I'll never mention your channel again. Okay? Because I get it, man. You get Scott Garibay on your case, man. Ooh, it gets weird quick, right? Because the reality is, when it comes to verbal discourse, I don't lose. I don't lose that often. I'll tell you that right now, right? So I hope you change this, Professor Dungeon Master. But I think your video where you said, "Hey, thanks for my 100,000 subscriber button," and why did you even bother to thank people, right? If you just want to put up the junkiest junk that nobody wants, that from your own work nobody wants to watch, and you don't care the people who brought you to prominence, right? And frankly, in my opinion, probably one of your best life achievements is your 100K YouTube button, right? That's a modern achievement. Not many people have done it. But rather than be thankful, rather than be proud of it, you're literally thumbing your nose at everybody who got you there, right? And right now, I think you are a good, kind, tolerant genius, right? And I've watched every video you've ever done. But right now, I think you're being outrageously selfish and lazy, and I think it's going to cost you years of your life. And this is why all of you need to embrace the D&D OGL 1.1 if it's released as it was leaked, okay? All right, so here's the issue. Watch Dungeon Master's video, okay? It looks like an outrageously outlandish exercise, right? It's bonkers. When you watch it, you're like, what am I watching? This is him responding to his own video, which he never published, right? And the reason why is he's an old man who's tired, right? And I get this. I get incredibly frustrated. I have deleted no less than 50 videos that I wanted to come up, but something changed, and I had to take content and throw it away. And he thinks, he says it in the video, he thinks he can make content 2 weeks earlier and bring it up 2 weeks later. And he's already run into this problem, but rather than adjusting, right? And ramming his production values to the floor, which is exactly what I've done, so that you can respond in 24 hours to something that happens in Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, no, I want to keep my old model. I just want to keep squawking, and then I just want to keep squawking and put videos up that are 3 weeks old. Why can't I do that, even though I've learned this lesson 10 times? Because you're not learning the lesson. You're not moving forward. You are being lazy. You're trying to use the same process to produce videos, and it doesn't work. And that's exactly what the D&D OGL 1.0 people are doing. They're like, oh, hey, we would like to do the same nonsense we've been doing for years, which is making derivative work and insulting Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro at the same time. Can't we all keep that model? And Hasbro's like, no, we're not going to sit by while you make millions and insult us. Right? Like, no. Who thought that model was going to continue forever? Like, it's ridiculous, right? And so the OGL 1.0 is like, oh, okay, OGL 1.1 is coming. All right. We made our nut on this other content. Now it's time to get good and do the new 1.1 and be one of the first exciting creators out there. But that's the issue, right? Rather than change his process, right? And do something he doesn't want to do to fit what his viewers are telling him they want, right? He's like, no, let me be selfish. Let me do what I want, and let me be lazy, and let me not update my process, and let me continue to try to pedal out 4-week-old videos that are completely laughable because D&D moves like a shark, right? And moves at near the speed of light and eats its competitors like for breakfast, right? Like, And so he's being selfish and lazy. Now, he has every right to do that. Why am I encouraging him not to? That's how you die. Like, I feel like I can see Professor Dungeon Master aging on screen, right? He's just like, I'm an old man, but I'm not tired. He is a tired old man, and he's showing his tiredness. Literally within the same video, he says, die and go to Grognard heaven. He just wants to be lazy and selfish. Complaining is lazy. Complaining is selfish. Nobody should want to be a grognard. Okay? And people are wearing as a badge something that is killing them, right? When you give up, when you refuse to adapt, when you celebrate things that old people like and young people don't, you are taking years of your life and dumping them in a hole and burning those years. We stay alive by adapting, right? By not clutching to the past, but embracing the future. Embrace D&D 1.1, OGL 1.1 as it's been leaked. Change and live. Or embrace the OGL 1.0 derivative, complainer, dog biting the hand work and die. You will take 10 to 20 years of your life because you're surrendering. You're surrendering. I get in my comments. People are like, Scott, why you got to win everything? Man, I will not stop moving forward. I will not stop trying to catapult forward. I will never embrace the past. I will always be running and leaping into the future until they put me into a pine box. Because this is not a zero. This is a zero-sum world, right? And this is why I've been calling you to do the best Dungeons & Dragons you can from day one, and do not ever celebrate nonsense that is lazy and selfish, right? I'm going to scrap for every inch. I'm going to pull and claw and tooth and claw my way forward every moment I'm on this earth. I will not stop because I think it's what keeps us alive. And I think that video cost Professor Dungeon Master 10 years of his life, surrendering to his own selfishness, his own laziness, and walking off to the AARP brunch, right? Like, I ain't here for it, and I'm an old man, but I ain't tired. And I think that entire video was Professor Dungeon Master saying, I'm an old man and I'm tired, and I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to be lazy. I hope he changes his mind and comes back to D&D. I hope he changes his mind and doesn't thank his subscribers for giving him a YouTube button, which I think, frankly, right now, I don't think he cares about it. I don't think he's not being thankful. He's not being respectful to his viewers, right? I thank you guys for a lot less than the views he gets, right? And He got more views than almost anybody in the space and was like, that's all he did. He just thumbed his nose at his subscribers and was like, thanks for nothing. That's my humble opinion. Professor Dungeon Master, go get those 10 years. You've put them in the poll. You've taken 10 years of your life and you put it in a hole, right? And you got the match there and you could burn them, right? Come back. Don't give up. Don't give up. We need you here, right? Abandon your selfishness. Abandon your laziness. Think again. Do a new video. Thank people for real. Realize that people came for this, not that. And I know you want to make that, right? But people want you to make this. What are you going to do? You going to go be selfish and lazy? Or you can give people what they ask for? All that's my humble opinion. Please consider liking and subscribing. Get in the comments. Send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful morning.